Good morning. I'd like to welcome those in the audience and those online to the Weber County Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. It's 10 o'clock a.m. I'm Commissioner Gage Frohr. I'll be leading this meeting this morning. And with me on my left is Commissioner Bolos, on my right, Commissioner Harvey. We're going to start with a Pledge of Allegiance given by Brooke Stewart. Our invocation will be given by Commissioner Bolos, and our thought of the day will be given by Commissioner Harvey. Then we'll go on to public comments. So, Brooke, the time's yours.
Please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we come before thee at this time, at the beginning of our commission meeting, express gratitude for thy blessings upon us. We're grateful for the country in which we live and for the freedoms we enjoy here and the opportunity that we have to live in the way that we do and with the many blessings that we receive. We're thankful for those who serve our country. We're grateful for those who serve our county. We ask a blessing over our employees and their families, that they may have all that they need, and that they will know of our appreciation for them. We are grateful for our first responders and for those who serve in our military. Please watch over them. Please bless us this day, that we may have thy Spirit to guide us in decisions that we make, and that we may be led in the best interest of those we've been elected to serve. These things we pray for in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Well, to our commissioners and public, we welcome you here today. We're thankful to have you here, but I suppose maybe we should talk about our experience. The three of us had the opportunity to go back to Washington, D.C. last week, and I want you to know that I'm grateful for our those who lead from our congressmen and our senators. They were very respectful of our time, and I think that we're pretty effective back there. I appreciate Stacy, you setting up so many of those meetings there, but we had other opportunities to meet with different people. That was a meeting there where all the commissioners from around the country go there collectively and meet. And it's great to get ideas and things from different things. That's not, I'm going to tie in a thought today that from Vincent van Gogh, a famous painter. He said, normality is a paved road. It's comfortable to walk on, but it grows no flowers. And as you think about that, you know, a lot of times when we're taking things really easy in life and we're not challenged, we don't have any ruggedness. It's where sometimes it's those things that allow us the good flowers and some of the color. So my thought today is sometimes it's good to get off the road every now and again and do something hard, stretch yourself. I think you'll find a little more color in your life. That's my thought. Thank you.
Great thought, Commissioner. Appreciate that. All right, let's now go to our public comment section. Anyone in the audience would like to come before? Now is your time. Not seeing a lot of people coming forward. Anybody online? Stacy? Okay, seeing none. Going once. Thank you for that. Let's move to our consent items, commissioners. And we're going to start with consent items F1 through, looks like 13. So let's start with F1, request for approval to ratify warrants 7260 through 7310 and number 474-367 through 474-515 and 242 in the amount of $2,460,159.24. 2, request for approval of warrants numbers 7311 through 7342 and number 474516 through 474675 and number 243 through 246 in the amount of $1,907,220.63. Request for approval to ratify purchase orders in the amount of $157,417.77 dated February 14th, 2023. I'm going to go to Mr. Ricky Hatch for further details and answer any questions on those three items, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We issued on Valentine's Day, we issued 12 purchase orders for $157,000. Just over a third of that amount, or $53,000, was for our IT department, which will go towards computer replacements and software upgrades. 27%, or $43,000, is for the Sheriff's Office, and that is for drone consulting and radar detectors. 18%, or $29,000, is for Homeland Security, and that was almost exclusively for the outdoor display for the mobile command. 11%, or $18,000, is for the library to purchase air filter systems, as well as youth services programming supplies. And then 9%, or $14,000, is for the health department to purchase vaccines. We issued, that was a timely cough, like I needed vaccine. We issued 201 warrants. There we go. We issued 201 warrants on the 14th again for $2.5 million. 43% of that amount, or $1 million, was employee health and dental insurance. 25%, or $610,000, was for the transfer station, and that was for purchase of equipment. And 10%, or $240,000, was for the fleet department to purchase 6 vehicle replacements for the Sheriff's Office. Now, for this week's purchase order report, we issued 14 POs for $326,000. 37% of that amount, or $120,000, is for IT to renew software licenses. 32%, or $105,000, is for property management to purchase janitorial services. 17%, or $55,000, is for the Sheriff's Office to purchase ammunition and training supplies. And lastly, warrants for this week. We issued 193 payments for $1.9 million. Just over a third of that amount, or $669,000, was paid to Uinta City using ARPA funds for their project. 21%, or $394,000, is road construction on 3300 South in West Haven, and that came from transportation tax dollars and was approved by the Council of Governments. 8%, or $160,000, is flood control, and that's the Little Weber cutoff purchase. And then 2 items at 6%, or $108,000, a purchase of a Mack truck by the Fleet Department, and then corridor preservation, some purchases related to 2550 South project.
Great, thank you. Any questions, Commissioners, on those?
Nope.
Thank you. So I did leave off approval of the purchase orders in the amount of $325,900.84. I'm assuming that was in your presentation for the approval of those purchase orders.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. So that would be agenda item, consent item F4. Agenda item, consent items F5, summary of warrants and purchase orders, which is given. 6, request for approval of minutes for the meetings held on January 31st, 2023 and February 7th, 2023. 7, request for approval of new business licenses. 8, request from the Weber Morgan Health Department to approval to surplus 2 vaccine freezers. 9, request for approval to extend the online ticket service contract by and between Weber County and Sapphire LLC. 10, request for approval of retirement agreement by and between Weber County and Lori Lee. 11, request from the Weber County Community Development Department for approval to sell surplus property identified as parcel 15, 132, and 12. 12, request for approval of contracts by and between Weber County and the following individuals to secure services for the Ogden Musical Theater Secret Garden. There's a list of people, as noted on your agenda, Commissioners, with the exclusion of the second item, which would be Caleb Chapman Soundhouse Voodoo Orchestra and Concert Super Band. So that would be excluded from that list that's on the consent items. 13, request for approval of contracts by and between Weber County and the following individuals for the Ogden Eccles Conference Center 2023 Celtic Celebration: Wasatch and District Pipe Band, Elizabeth A. Fallis Leaping Lulu, Lorraine Thackeray. That would be the consent items, Commissioners. Any questions or comments? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the consent items excluding item Caleb Chapman under item 12, with one comment.
Go ahead.
I'd like to know from the people of Boston why we have the Boston Celtics and we have a Celtic celebration. They're spelled the same way. Probably why we have live and live, right? Ricky? You're usually the good wordsmith.
I have no clue. Sorry.
Anybody here from Boston?
Let's get a Boston Celtic.
Okay.
All right, I think we had a motion.
Yeah,
that
that's
it?
the most, yeah.
Second.
And we had a second. All those in favor of those consent items is approved, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye?
Aye. Consent items are approved. Let's go now to our action items. Our first action item this morning, Commissioners, is G1, request for approval of a resolution which would be 16-2023 of the County Commissioners of Weber County appointing a trustee to the governing board of Little Mountain Service Area, which is a sewer district in western Weber County. And you have before you Ms. Stacy Skeen. Stacy, the time's yours.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
I'm here to present the vacancy. It's a midterm vacancy for the Little Mountain Service Area due to the retirement of Jeff McGilton, who was previously serving. His term expires December 31st of 2024, and so I posted for the required 14 days, and I received 2 applications that you have before you, and both are qualified applicants.
Okay, thank you. Is that it, Stacy?
Yep.
So, Commissioners, we have 2 applications in front of us. We need to make an appointment for one individual
Correct.
at this point in time. So I'd be open for a motion on the appointment to the Little Mountain Service Area Governing Board.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 16-2023, appointing Mr. John J. Wester to the Little Mountain Service Area Board.
Okay, and we have a motion.
I can second that.
You have a second. Okay. Discussion.
Do you want, but we've got some unfortunate news out there. Do we want to,
We do.
do we need to do that again, Liam?
Redo your motion?
No.
Well, so the issue is one of the existing members of the Little Mountain Service Area recently passed away. But from conversations with legal and Stacy, that position has to be re-advertised in order to, the question is, could we appoint both these people? And the answer to that, Lynn, correct me if I'm wrong, is we can only appoint one today.
Correct, if the other one has not been advertised.
That's correct.
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 Okay. All right, so that's where we're at. Any discussion on that motion? Commissioner Harvey?
No more discussion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Nope. Hold on.
Oh, excuse me, good catch.
Roll call vote for Resolution 16-2023. Commissioner Bolos.
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey.
Aye?
Chair Faure.
Aye, thank you. Motion carries, thank you. Okay, let's now go to action item G2, and this will not be the resolution because this, as I understand, is the first reading.
That
So-
is correct.
So it won't be a resolution as noted possibly on your agenda, but this is approval for the first reading of the ordinance of the County Commission of Weber County amending sections 42-4-2-1 of the Weber Code Weber County Code regarding parking on county roads between the hours of 12 a.m. and 7 a.m. And Riley Horton is not in front of us, as noted, but we do have our good friend from Roads Department. Joe, go ahead. Joe Hadley.
Thank you, Commissioners. This action item is to request approval to amend the ordinance in Weber County for parking. This winter, we've noticed a huge increase in winter activity, people wanting to park along the roads to get to the local ski resorts. So it's been quite an issue, so we came up and we've come up with a new ordinance. That's it.
Okay. Questions, Commissioners?
It's Joe, it's nice that you brought some muscle with you today. We welcome you, Riley. We'd love to see you here at the lectern next time. It's not that scary. You can do it. Look at Joe. Look at how wonderful he's doing. You know, and then it's also good to have Mr. Klontz in the audience today,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, to bring in a little muscle with you, Joe, to put the heat on us, I see.
Joe's no dummy.
I don't have any questions. This is a great idea.
So really the idea behind, Commissioner Bowles, excuse me, you have any questions?
No.
We went through this with Sheriff's Department, and I think a lot of this has to do with the Upper Valley, with the amount of snow we've had, areas around, particularly around Nordic and other areas that became very problematic for your snow plows to get in and out. And this just gives us a little more clearance in terms of times a day that we can actually enforce people on the side of the roads that block off their neighbors, block off access to areas like Nordic and some of these other ski resort areas.
Correct.
That be correct?
Yes.
Just extends the time from what we had in the previous ordinance.
Yeah.
No other changes other than time change.
There might be a change in the hours. It states,
Yep.
or when it is snowing or during the first 72 hours at the end
Right.
of the snowfall.
Okay. And as we reviewed this with the Sheriff's Department, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, this pretty much follows the policy that a lot of the other cities and around us have. So it falls in conformity with most of those, not all of those.
Correct.
Okay. All right, Commissioners, with that, this would not, this is the first reading, so we don't need to do a roll call. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance 2023-03 first reading.
First reading. Okay. Do we have a second?
Is that ordinance number, are we not supposed to state that ordinance number?
Yeah,
Not supposed to state it?
Just that it's a first reading?
yeah, we wouldn't state the ordinance
I'll
number.
retract my motion to exclude that
Okay.
ordinance number.
Yeah, because we just, yeah.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye. Carries. Thanks, Joe. Come back anytime. Number G3, resolution approving interlocal agreements with Harrisville City and Hooper City for the distribution of coronavirus, say that, state and local recovery funds for the construction of the new Children's Justice Center. And Miss Chris Crockett is listed, but he's no longer here, so. Liam, Gil, go ahead.
Yeah, this is just a basic resolution for contribution of funds towards the Children's Justice Center from the two listed cities. And this agreement has been written and drafted by Chris Crockett, and it's been reviewed by him as well.
Great. For those two cities.
Correct.
Good. Thank you for that explanation. Questions, Commissioners?
You ready for a motion?
Ready for a motion?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 17-2023, approving the interlocal agreements with Harrisville City and Hooper City for the distribution of coronavirus state and local recovery funds.
Thank you.
Second?
And we have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Nope.
Resolution.
Oh, excuse me. That's our new resolution. Do you want to state, did you give that number?
17-2023, she did.
Okay, good. All right, roll call.
Roll call vote for Resolution 17-2023. Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey?
Aye.
Sheriff Rohr?
Aye, thank you. Okay, let's go now to another final reading, which I believe is 2023-03 now that we've changed that, which is a request for approval of a final reading of fee ordinance amendments related to the Weber County Transfer Station and residential solid waste collection and disposal. Mr. Sean Wilkinson, this is the second reading of this.
Correct.
Okay?
Thank you, Commissioners. As you'll recall, a couple of weeks ago, I came with the revised first reading for this ordinance amendment. This adjusts fees at the transfer station, including raising the tipping fee from $44.14 per ton to $50 per ton. That is in response to the increase passed on to us from Republic Services, which they received from MBI. In addition to that, this ordinance also adjusts the rates for the residential solid waste collection in the Ogden Valley, Western Weber County, and Uinta Highlands. So those are the main points. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Sean. Any questions? This is the second reading, Commissioners, so final questions or action?
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2023-03.
Thank you. We have a motion.
Second?
And we have a second. Roll call vote.
Roll call vote for ordinance 2023-03. Commissioner Bolos.
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey.
Aye.
Chair Floor.
Aye. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Let's go to agenda item 5, which would be request for approval of resolution of the County Commissioners of Weber County authorizing the use of funds for projects on the priority list approved by WACOG. This would be transportation. Ms. Brooke Stewart, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, as you mentioned, before you use a resolution regarding Weber County's 2550 South project. With this project, the county is intending to widen and improve 2550 South from 3500 West to 4300 West. So as you might recall, back in November, this project was recommended for funding by WACOG and then approved as part of the 2022 Transportation Priority List by you all. So with this resolution, the County Commission is just authorizing the use of funds that were approved by WACOG, and they're resolving that the funds will be expended for the project pursuant to the local transportation funds program policies that have been adopted by the Weber Area Council of Governments, and also in accordance with the Utah State sales tax statute. So these sales tax funds for this project are programmed for 2025, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great, thank you. We've heard this in WACOG presentation, so Commissioners, questions, comments, or action?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
motion to approve Resolution 18-2023 as presented by Ms. Stewart today.
Thank you for that. We have a motion.
Second?
We have a second. Craig, roll call vote.
Roll call vote for resolution 18-2023. Commissioner Bolos.
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey.
Aye.
Chair Floor.
Aye, thank you. Thanks, Brooke. Appreciate
Welcome.
it. Let's now go to request for approval of the local transportation funding agreement by and between Weber County and Pleasant View City to establish terms related to the Pleasant View City 2727 and 2775 North Connection project. Brooke, you're up again.
Okay, so this is a project that's a collaborative effort between Pleasant View City and Far West City, where they'll be constructing roadway along 2725 and 2775 north, and then connecting into and improving 1900 West. The completion of this project will create safer access onto and off of 2700 North with a signalized intersection, and also provide connectivity to the commercial and industrial developments that are in the area. This project was also recommended for approval by WACOG and approved by the County Commission as part of the 2022 Transportation Priority List. This agreement before you is just outlining the terms that are related to those sales tax funds that are also programmed for 2025.
Great, thank you. Questions, Commissioners? So seeing none, I just want to say that I've actually looked at this project with Brooke and through the Transportation Committee, and this is going to be great for access, egress, and ingress off of 2700 North in that area, which will really help not only the businesses in that area, but future commercial. So
Absolutely.
I think this is a great project, and I know that both of those cities really look forward to this project being completed. With that, Commission, any questions, discussions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve I'll make a motion for approval of the local transportation funding agreement by and between Weber County and Pleasant View City as presented by Brooke Stewart.
Thank you. We have a motion.
Second?
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brooke. Number 7, request for approval of the first reading of an ordinance amending the air pollution control fee and making other technical changes under Section 21-1-3 powers and duties. Mr. Brian Cowan from the Health Department, welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners, and thank you for the time on your agenda today. I'm here to present this resolution that would make amendments to Weber County Ordinance 28-1-3. There's really two components to this amendment to this ordinance. The first is increasing the air pollution control fee from $1 to $2, and that's following the guidance that's outlined in Utah Administrative Code Title 41. The second component to this is just some housekeeping to the ordinance. We would like to change the name from air pollution control fee to emissions compliance fee, which makes it more consistent with the language in state code, and also remove the current paragraph C, which refers to a $9 fee that would apply to diesel-fueled vehicles, and that fee hasn't been collected since the early 2000s. So we'd just like to strike that paragraph to bring the ordinance up to today's requirements.
Okay, questions for Mr. Cowan?
Please. What's that control fee in Utah County?
And it's $2 in Utah County.
What about Davis County?
Salt Lake and Davis charge $3, and the state Title 41 caps that fee at $3.
Thank you. That just, so it's $3 is pretty consistent with our neighbors.
Yes.
Got it.
And we have had discussions on this with Brian and his folks, so.
I might also mention that that the law doesn't allow us to do increments less than $1, so.
Correct. Title 41 requires that if we change this fee, we change it in whole dollar amounts.
Right.
And we've used this $1 amount for that fee since the early 90s when the program was initiated. I know I have about 20 years at the Health Department that I've been involved in the emissions testing program, and it's been $1 for that whole time that I've worked in that program.
Great. Commissioner Bolos, this is in your portfolio, so.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance amending the air pollution control fee and making other technical changes as presented by Mr. Cowan.
Thank you for that. We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
And that is the first reading. I'm assuming you'll be back in the near future.
Correct.
Thank you. Let's go now to agenda item 8, request for approval of contracts by and between Weber County and the following for the 2023 Weber County Fair. Mr. Matt Drake, MC, the Flipping Out Trampoline Show, Great Basin Antique Farm Machinery, Magical Celebrations, Wooden Creations, Comedy Hypnosis Show, Kelly Carl, Utah Family Musician, Stilt Circus, Royal Management Group, LLC, DBA, Go Green BMX Show, the Ivy Acres Farm and Petting Zoo. And we have with us Miss Ashton Wilson to present those.
Yes, good morning. Okay, so just getting everything knocked out here. Matt Drake, he's been our MC the last several years. He does an awesome job. He does giveaways throughout each day, announcements, works with us to announce any important news, so he does a great job. The Flippin' Out Trampoline Show is brand new this year. They're actually out of Massachusetts, and they just relocated to Logan, Utah, oddly enough. So we're excited to work with them. You guys have seen Great Basin Antique Farm Machinery every year, as long as I can remember. We've got them in a different location. They get a lot more exposure where they're at now. Magical Celebrations, we did have them last year, but on a much smaller scale. They have different characters that they mingle with little kids throughout the day. Wooden Creations, again, that's a staple that we've had the last, I don't know how many years. He does the wood carvings. In the past, he would donate one of them to the Commissioner's Golf Tournament. The Hypnotist, we've had the last couple years. She does a couple shows each day, as well as the Magician below her. The Stilt Circus is entertainment that we got booked at the IAFE convention this year. We're excited to have them. They're 10, 12-foot stilt people in elaborate costumes walking around. We had tons of walk-around entertainment last year, and we got really good feedback on it, so we've stacked that up again. The Go Green BMX show, again, brand new. We're going to put it in a location similar to the trampoline show, just do all types of stunts and things like that. And then that petting zoo is the same one we had last year. We're going to make some changes to their display and their location, but people did like the different exotic animals that they had with them. Any questions?
Great, thank you. So do we have the date set for the fair?
Yep, August 9th through the 12th.
9th through the 12th. Commissioner Harvey, this is in your portfolio.
You've done a wonderful job here, Ms. Wilson, you and your team. Appreciate that. I don't really have any concerns about any of these. And when ready, Mr. Chair, I'll be happy to make a motion.
Okay, Commissioner Bolos, any questions or comments?
None from me.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion.
Motion to approve those items as presented by Ms. Wilson today.
We have a motion to
Second.
approve those items listed and as presented by Ms. Wilson.
Second.
And second, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Thank you very much. Thanks. Ashton, appreciate being with us. Agenda item H is request for motion for a closed session to discuss pending or imminent litigation. And because we're not in the company of Mr. Chris Crockett, he's at the legislature this morning, we're going to ask to hold that for a future date. So that's going to be held. So that takes us to agenda item I, which is commissioner comments. Commissioners, time's yours. Commissioner Harvey?
No, I'm anxious to hear what Commissioner
Bolos.
Are you really? Well, I do want to share something with you, and that is that I try to attend the Sheriff's Office executive staff meeting whenever I can. They hold that weekly, and I just want to let you know how impressed I am with his executive staff. And really what stands out to me is the way that they treat each other. There's a lot of conversation about what's going on in their office, and they're very complimentary to each other about what each one is doing, and I just don't see that every day, you know, and I appreciate that. They compliment each other and they support each other. It's a great organization.
Great. Perfect comment. And we appreciate your having that in your portfolio along with the health department. Those are both big, big jobs. So you do a great job with those.
Thank you.
Appreciate you very much. Anything else, Commissioner? I know that we can't let you off this easy, so.
Well, I'm sorry, you're going to maybe have to make an exception today.
All right.
I gave my 2 cents at the first meeting.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. You've had your time, so. All right. With no other comments, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All's in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you very much.